What's up, guys? I appreciate y'all stopping in, and I am back with another Yildiz shotgun. Now this one is the single shot 12 gauge. It's not quite as fancy as my side-by-side double barrel 20 gauge, but it's still pretty nice. You know, I don't know how well you can see, but you know, it does have the engraving and everything. Not as much as the 20 gauge, but still pretty nice for a single shot. You got the trigger up here, breaks it open, and it pretty much folds in half. A lot of people would consider this to be a backpack gun. You know, it weighs a whopping 4 pounds. That being said, the only thing I've done to this is I went ahead and changed out that recoil pad because the one that came on it is very thin. Being the same weighs only 4 pounds, I knew it was probably going to kick like a Clydesdale, so I went ahead and immediately put that on. Now, I'm not doing so much of a review as much as I am going to play with this. I got some accessories to go with this. Y'all come check it out. Alright guys, so as I mentioned, I got some accessories. That's what I got in here. I got some bore adapters. These came from Short Lane, and I have a 12 gauge down to 410 or 45 Colt. I've got the 12 gauge to 28 gauge and 12 gauge to 20 gauge. Now these are all smooth bore. That being said, I probably won't try the 45 Colt in it, but I don't know. I might. But I also have a 12 gauge to 40, 12 gauge to 40, and a 12 gauge to 380. These came from I'm not sure if you pronounce it Chiappa or Chiappa. These are rifled. It's pretty cool how these things work. You know, you just, let me get some stuff out of my way here. 410. It's right up front. Let's see, 12 gauge to 410. It's got the hole in it. All you do is just drop that in there and it is ready to go. Now you want to install it pretty much like you would a shotgun shell. Slide it right on in there. Close it up. No gap or anything. It's good to go. Now the only thing about these, or this shotgun rather, it does not have an ejector. You got to manually eject, so if you have a similar setup, keep that in mind when you're going to extract these. It will fall just right out on you. Now these have an O-ring, if you can see that, so they fit a little bit tighter. But again, just slide it on in there and it's ready to go. I'm trying to find the camera there. So basically, with these adapters, I am able to fire the 12 gauge, which is what the parent bore would be. Also, 20 gauge, 28 gauge, 410, and 45 Colt should I decide to, 380, and 40 Smith & Wesson. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and possibly 7 different calibers that I could shoot through this one shotgun. Pretty cool. And a buddy of mine that I work with also gave me these supposed to be low recoil 12 gauge shells that he wanted me to try for him and tell him what I thought. He's got the same shotgun as I do, but he hasn't had a chance to shoot his, but he's got a bunch of these, and he got them specifically because they said low recoil, and he knew that being this is such a light gun, it's probably going to give you a little tap on the shoulder. But enough talking. Let's go shoot this thing. I'm going to take some water bottle, some water jugs, and whatever else. Maybe a few paper targets. Just I'm not going for accuracy. I'm just going to see what they're going to do. These are kind of designed to be survival type deals, and the single shot, being it folds in half and it can fit into a backpack, it's kind of a survival thing too. So I'm just going to go have some fun, see what happens. Headed down to the range. Y'all come with me.
Alright guys, so I'm out here and I got all my cameras set up. I got this one on my head, the one I'm looking at, and I got one down there close to the target. I'm not really going for accuracy, and these are meant for short range, so I'm probably close to 20 yards right now. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not expecting accuracy, so I'm going for good enough. And what I've done, I went and got some of these just to see what the spread pattern looks like with all these different bore sizes. I wanted to find something bigger, but this is as big as I could get. So I got one for each bore size, including the parent 12 gauge. And then I got some jugs filled with water just for fun. So let's get at it, shall we? Alright guys, first up, 12 gauge. It's my first time firing this gun at all. Let's see what it does. It definitely has some pop. I'm glad I put that on there. Seems like I hit a little high, but pretty good pattern, I guess. You can see where the wad went through there. I really wish I could have found some bigger pans. Well, let's set up for 20 gauge. Alright guys, we're going from 12 to 20 gauge. I actually think that 20 gauge had a little more pop than the 12 did. Alright, so that one hit a little bit high too. Not that bad though. I think it would hit whatever I was really trying to aim at. Well, let's set up for the 28 gauge. Alright guys, 12 gauge to 28 gauge. Alright, so I aimed this one a little bit lower than I did the last two. Looks like it's got a pretty good spread there. It's kind of tight, pretty close. That's kind of what you want, depending on what you're shooting. I like it. Alright, well, let's set up for last, the 410. Alright guys, this is the last of the gauge adapters. 410. That was very, very pleasant. Alright guys, so that's a 410. And it's spread apart pretty good. I don't know how good that would do. I again, it depends on what you're trying to shoot, but yeah, the spread on that is just kind of all over the place. But oh well. Let's set up some water bottles. All right, I'm going to start off with the 12 gauge. Carnage. Well, I pretty much just ripped that jug in half. Look, some of those shots didn't go all the way through. Huh. All right, guys. 20 gauge. Well, that did some real damage. Not as bad as the 12 gauge. Well, look at all that shot that's in there. Huh. Not much of it went through. There's everything that didn't penetrate both walls of this jug. Huh. Cool. Alright. 12, 28. Huh. Blew the cap right off of it. Alright. This one has a lot of shot in it too. Well, so far these other gauges just can't compare with that big 12. That's what didn't go through. Actually, there's not really any pock marks on the back side of this, so they all went in that one side, hit that water, and that was a wrap. Alright guys, 410 time. I don't expect much from this. In fact, I'll be surprised if I hit the jug at all. I hit it. A little damage here. Yeah. He didn't get blown away, but he's definitely having a bad day. And I can see the shot inside there. Alright, well, let's try those rifled adapters, shall we? Alright guys, I'm going to try the 12 gauge to 380. Now, I am by no means a marksman, but I'm going to try this just standing. No supports, see what happens. Again, this is the 380 ACP. It's not bad. Check it out. Alright, so I wasn't really aiming that good, but you know, that's still in a good location for something that doesn't really have any sights. And you know what, let's try that one more time. Alright, this time I'm going to take a little more time to try to aim. See where it goes. Again, this is the 380 ACP. This is difficult in this sweater. About the same spot. Alright, so I did try to aim a little bit better this time, and it's, you know, as far as elevation goes, it's in the same area. You know, it's a little more in line with the center, but, you know, if it's a critical situation, I think that'll do alright. Let me go ahead and cover these holes up, and we'll try the 40 Smith & Wesson. Alright, here we go with the 12 gauge to 40 Smith & Wesson. Take one more shot and then we'll go check it out. Alright, so the first shot went a little high, about like the 380 did. Second shot, that's not too bad. I'm going to leave those two holes alone and try a couple more, see if we can get it dialed in a little closer. Alright, I'm going to try 3 more rounds, just to see if there's any consistency. Well, there's 2 for sure. Not exactly a bullseye, but pretty doggone close. That third shot, I'm guessing, might have went through there. It looks kind of oval instead of round like it should. Huh. Well, let me cover these up. I want to try the 380 one more time. Alright, I'm going to shoot 4 more of the 380. See what kind of grouping I get. Alright, so these 2 were the 40 Smith & Wesson. This was a 380 and it just blew my sticker off. Blew one of the black stickers off, which explains the big hole I saw. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, and maybe 4. These are all pretty consistent. That one, maybe I got lucky. I don't know. But, you know, I kind of dig it. Alright guys, so now I'm going to attempt to hit a 20-ounce water bottle. Unfortunately, I think my downrange camera malfunctioned during the shotgun jugs. I hope I got footage, but I'm not holding my breath. But let's see if I can hit these little 20-ounce bottles with the 380 first and then the 40 Smith & Wesson. It's probably going to take me a few shots to get it, but let's see what happens. One shot. Alright guys, 40 Smith & Wesson. See if I can get it in one shot as well. I guess I am that good. Not really. Alright guys, so that's pretty much all I can do today. I really hope I got some footage on that downrange camera of all this, but if not, I think I still have a video I can salvage between that camera and this one. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. You know, the 410 was kind of disappointing, but it's kind of to be expected, I guess. I mean, it's a 410. 28 gauge looked pretty good. 20 gauge looked pretty good. 12 gauge looked devastating. They everything I shot seemed like it shot a little bit high, but that's more than likely me doing that. The 40 Smith & Wesson and the 380, that was just a lot of fun. That's clink worthy right there. But you know, I had fun, and I appreciate y'all for coming along and checking this out. If anybody wants to get any of these, I'll order these from 2 different companies, like I said earlier. These came from Short Lane, which maybe you can see that. And these came from Chiappa. I got these particular adapters because that's what was in stock. Apparently a lot of people are getting these. You know, I would have liked to have gotten a 357 or, you know, maybe a rifled 45 Colt, but again, I got what was available from each company. They had a lot of other things available that weren't in my wheelhouse, but still cool stuff. I'll put links to both of their websites in the description of this video somewhere. But anyway, I hope y'all at least found this entertaining, and I appreciate y'all watching. Stay tuned. You never know, I might be fishing next, I might be shooting, might be giving something away. Tune in to find out. Appreciate y'all watching. I forgot, I got one more thing. I need to try these out and tell my buddy how they do. These are the low recoil 12 gauge. Let's check them out. Low recoil mic.